Hey guys, and welcome to the Theyakhobbit channel. And today, in episode 3, part 2, we are going to talk about the character sheet and all the specifics about it. So, right now, grab your character sheet, or if you don't have a character sheet, go into the description below, go onto the link, download from the site the character sheet, print one out, and while you're doing all that, pause the video so then you don't miss anything while you're concentrating on that. So get your character sheet right now. Get a piece of paper and pencil to work out all your details before you actually put on the paper, so then you don't have a really messed up sheet with a bunch of eraser and pencil marks. Okay, so first things off, I will be going from the character sheet top down. So I will be starting with character names. I'll be starting with the top, and then I'll be going from the left side to the right side after that. Or you'll follow me along if you guys have it. Well, I'm using a widescreen version of it, or a landscape version of the character sheet right here. Bam. So you guys might have it like this, but mine's gonna be like this just for this, because that's how my character sheet was. It creates more space for the tables, so then you have more room for the setup, and the DM has more room. So, first things off, character name. I will be leaving this up to you, but I will be showing you how to set up a Dragonborn Warlord for this one. So, character name, I put my name as Krong. They have different names in here in the book, the player's manual. So check those out in the race. They usually have a type of examples, but you can play off of those, or you can choose the whole name by yourself. So level, well, you're level 1 to start off. You don't get to be level 30 just off the bat, unless your DM says so. Class, for this one, we're a warlord, but any class in the book, basically. Paragon path, so when you reach level 11, you're going to choose a Paragon path, which is like a different path in your class. So say for a rogue, you can either be a stealthy rogue, or you can be a frontline, beat 'em upper kind of boxer guy kind of thing, you know. So it'd be more of a brute as per se to a stealthy assassin. Epic Destiny, so basically when you reach level 21, you're gonna choose an epic destiny, which it could be like God Killer, etc., etc. Basically, the big one is God Killer. So, total XP or experience, as it is. So you'll be starting off with nada, double zeros, or just a 0. Race. So races for this one, for this character sheet, we're gonna be a Dragonborn, as I said before. And there's elves, dwarfs, humans, tieflings. There's big descriptions in there. You can go check them out. Even each race has their own mini booklet thing. I have a Dragonborn one, so you can go buy those in the store. That's for when you're more experienced in the game and want to get more advanced into it. You get one of those little mini booklets. I'll have one of them in a future video. Show you guys. Size. A Dragonborn is a medium. He's not a giant, so he's not a large figure. Age. Most people choose to be young adults, because if you're like a little teenager that's 13 years old, can't really fight very many creatures and live to tell the tale. And if your DM allows it, you won't be accepted into a tavern if there's an age limit, right? So, gender, my guy's a male. You can be a female or whatever. There's only 2 genders unless you want to make it a new one. I don't know what that would look like. Height, I'm a 6'5" Dragonborn. Usually it tells in the description of the races what the average heights are for the races. Weight, I'm 256 pounds. That's an average size. I win with that. more above average kind of thing, you know. Alignment, for the group we chose to do an evil alignment, so that's what I am. Deity as Bane, so the deity of war, basically just war and conquering and stuff. So, going to the left side of, if you have a widescreen version, or if you have a top version, it would be still on the left side. So initiative basically is when you're at a battle and you first get to the battle, everybody rolls initiative. So initiative basically is who fights first, basically. So if you roll, say, an 18 and someone else rolls a 16, you will fight before that guy. Basically, that's what it is. And there's a bunch of bonuses with that and all that. Ability scores, there's strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So strength is basically brute force, you know, the big guns. So an easy way, here I'm going to talk about ability scores. Ability scores are basically your strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And to find them, there are different ways. There's a point buy system, but I'm going to show you a very simple way, and it will just make your life totally easier. So take a 20-sided dice, if you have one nearby, and roll it 6 times, and basically those are your 6 scores. So whichever one you want for which ability, depending if you're what class you are, basically. So if you're a fighter or a warlord, you'll tend to prefer the strength, as you're gonna be on the front lines battling guys. As say a ranger or a rogue, that would prefer a higher dexterity level, as they're more stealthy and quick, like Usain Bolt. To find ability modifiers, it tells you in the book, but usually 10 and 11 is 0 bonus, and then it goes every 2 above that is usually +1 from the other. So a 12, 13 would be a +1 bonus, and etc. etc. And then yeah, so the highest of your ability for here, I'll just go straight into defenses here. So fortitude basically is, to find the fortitude, is basically the highest of strength or constitution. So you choose the highest ability score of those two, and you'll get your fortitude. So, and then class bonuses will be increase it or decrease it, and then you'll have a certain ability that can up it or decrease it. Basically, it all depends on what class you are and what abilities you take. So the reflex is another defense, so your quickness, like this kind of thing. You will choose again the highest of your 2 scores for that defense. And same with willpower, or just will. Just choose the highest one. The higher you get in levels you gain from experience, the higher your fortitude / reflex / will become. And so yeah, the bunch of bonuses to that. So we'll go into skills now. There are very, 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 very. Wait, let me rephrase that because I wasn't going anywhere with that. There's a lot of skills, basically. Acrobatics, Arcana, Athletics, Bluff, Diplomacy, Dungeoneering, Endurance, Heal, History, Insight, Intimidate, Nature, Perception, Religion, Stealth, Streetwise, and Thievery. Yeah, that's all the skills for this game. There were more in 3.5, but this is 4th edition, so. So yeah, basically your class will have a train in them. So your class can depict which ones you can be trained in, which will give you a bonus for that skill. and can help you to overcome a certain obstacle that requires a high roll from a certain skill. Going to languages known, most races know common, which is basically, I like to think of it as English for this world, but yeah, so common is basically English, and everybody knows English, mostly. Unless you're like isolated in some like cavern somewhere out in yonder. But yeah, and then certain races will have certain languages, like Dragonborn is Draconic, Elven or Elves is Elvish, Dwarf, Dwarfish, etc., etc. Even the deities have their own language. So, AC is basically the collective of your armor, bonuses, and such. And, so yeah, it's basically that. And basically the armor you have will give a bonus to the AC on top of that. Going down to race features. Race features are basically what the title states. It's features specifically to your race. So Dragonborn has +2 strength and +2 charisma. There you go. That's what he gets. Class, path, destiny features. So basically, if your class has a certain feature, like mine is a warlord. So inspiring presence. When an ally spends an action point to take an extra action, the ally also repairs lost hit points. So yeah, that's basically what that does, and that comes from the warlord class. And +5 damage. Basically, that's what the warlord gives you. Feats are basically your choice. It gives you a lot of different feats in the book, but I chose Dragonborn Senses, which is +1 to Perception, which is like seeing things and how well you can see them. If someone's hidden and you roll a perception check, can you see them or not, kind of. That's what it means. Adaptable Dragon Breath, so you have a choice other than your first choice for your Dragon Breath. This is for Dragonborn. So say you chose Acid the first time for your original breath. Now you have a second choice, and you can have Fire Breath. That's what it is. And moving over to hit points, big money. Max hit points is basically what it is. It's your max amount of health that your character has, or you have. So I have 33 right now. It's not very much, but I'm only a level 3 guy, so because I've been DMing a lot, so I haven't had a chance to play. Max hit points, there you go. Bloodied is basically half of your health. So if your health is an uneven number, or an odd number I should say, and you divide it by half, or 0.5, then round it down, don't round it up, or else you'd be cheating. And nobody likes a cheater, so don't do that. Round it down, not up, okay? Surge value. Healing surges is basically like a defibrillator thing. It'll give you more health, basically. It's like a little magic thing, or a little food, whatever. It just heals you, and you have a certain amount of them. So basically, a quarter of your health is one surge's value. So yeah. So if you have 24 hit points, basically 6 hit points would be your surge's value. For example, surges per day. The amount of surges you have per day. That's basically what that is. Current hit points, like self-explanatory. Second wind, basically, once you get bloodied or Once you get bloodied, you have a special ability of some sort. That's what second wind is. It depends on your class what it is exactly. Death saving throw failures, check those off for the amount of saving throw failures that you have to revive yourself from death. Saving throw mods, resistances, and resistance to, like, for example, ice or fire or poison, etc., etc. Current conditions and effects, so if you're prone or if you're paralyzed, for example. Those are just two. There's a lot of them though. Don't be afraid though. Attack workspace. So this is basically your attack. It's basically your most frequent attacks. It's basically a little detailed description of that certain attack. And workspace. So your attack, your powers set up attack or damage. So attack workspace is like strength versus AC, basically. And then this one shows like attack bonuses and bonuses for that ability. And it's for your most used ones, so keep it updated. And don't be slacking off. So yeah, and then damage workspace is basically the same thing. Your most common power is damage. So even if it's a weapon or something, it's still basically your most frequent attack, so just put it there and stuff. Basic attacks, so basically your weapons, basically the basics, so what's the weapon, what's the attack, strength versus AC, or reflex against, or dexterity against reflex, and then what's the hit dice, like 1d6, 1d8, etc., etc. Okay, so page 1 is done. Wow. Isn't that amazing, eh? 17 minutes for one page. Okay, page 2. Powers. So, at will powers is basically what it is. It's powers that you can do at will, anywhere you want. Yeah, basically that. Encounter powers, basically you can use it once and only once, uno por, per encounter. So you can't use it again, so keep track of that, make sure your DM keeps track of that you can't use it a second time, only once. Daily powers are powers you can only use once per day. Ooh. Yes, I know, it's very scary. But most of the time, they are really powerful attacks. Very powerful, indeed. Because I have one superpower. It's like crazy. It's like a couple times a 1d12 because of my great axe. So yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff. But that's for a warlord. It will change depending on what class you are, and I'll do that in the next video. And that will be specifically powers and skills. Utility powers. Utility powers are basically specific moves and stuff like that. It's really not that hard. They'll tell you in the book. They'll give you a better description than what I will give you. But this is just the basics of what the character sheet is in general. So, we'll go down to rituals. Rituals, you will need certain objects or items, and you'll need, I believe, a scroll to complete a ritual, which can either heal an ally, hurt an enemy, etc., etc. It does magical abilities, that's what it does basically. Magic item index, magic items, so your magic weapons, what's on your head, that's magical. Or your hands, what's on your hands, they give magic gloves or something, you know. We're gonna go over to personality traits. So what's your personality? I'll leave that up to you guys. Mannerisms and appearance, so what does your character do specifically? Does he tap the table when he's getting annoyed, or just wants to do something? Does he tap his fingers? Does he whistle a lot, etc. Does he have a certain scar that goes over his face somewhere? Does he have a tattoo, certain earring somewhere, or a piercing? Character background. Was your person ex-knight, or did he come from a poor family of farmers? Basically up to you. You can do that. You can choose that on your own. Companions and allies. So basically, who are your friends in the campaign, basically, or who are your people you're playing with? So what are their names? It's not you don't need to put that, but it just makes the game more fun that way. Like you're using every part of the paper, you know. Session and campaign notes. So this is where, even though you should have a big, huge, loose leaf sheet beside you when you play, this is just like little notes that you can put there. Other equipment. You should also have another loose leaf for this, because you will be acquiring way more equipment than what these lines will allow you to get. Because it might be all little light stuff, you know, like apples and stuff like that. Like you might be the food carrier person. So yeah, and then coins and other wealth. Do you have gold? How many gold coins do you have, and how many gems, basically, and what gem? So this has been an overview of the character sheet. I hope it has helped a little bit, and I hope it helps you to understand the game just that little much more better. So thank you for watching this. Please like, comment, subscribe if you can, if you have a YouTube channel, and if you don't, make one, and please like, comment, subscribe to me. And this has been the Theyakhobbit. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, have a good summer, and have a good year, basically. And ciao ciao for now, guys. Bye bye.